Okay, welcome to the Street Talk section of the podcast, everybody. Gemma, how did you find this week's Coronation Street on the whole?
All right.
It was all right, wasn't it? I'm still not feeling the ramp up to Christmas. We did, like I said, we did get the Corrie Christmas schedules. There's a good deal of Corrie happening over the Christmas time, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm not necessarily feeling like it's building up to something, you know. And you know, it's Coronation Street's, was it 63rd anniversary this week? I think, and it was just kind of a standard week. I think it feels to me that this Ryan Daisy Daniels story is probably building up to something around Christmas time. Surely the Ed Bailey storyline is going to get, you know, front page as well. But that didn't feature this week. It just kind of feels like it's plodding along, and you know, you had the Evelyn and the dog story. Not that there was anything wrong with that, but I just can't help but feel a little bit jealous of those EastEnders fans and their Six publicity, which you hate, can't you? We haven't mentioned this before on the podcast, have we?
I think we have.
Have we?
You were moaning about it last week.
Was I?
Yeah.
Well, and were you? I'm not moaning about you.
No, you're moaning again. Oh, wish we were the EastEnders.
Wish we had the Six on Coronation
No, I hate
Street.
it. It's cringy.
I think it's brilliant soap marketing.
The Six. What do you think you are? It's like a cabal of secret underground criminals or something.
It's really, really clever stuff, and they're all colour coded and everything. And
No,
it's a new twist on the who's done it, who's gonna do it.
Rubbish, that is.
It was a little bit. It does look a bit evil Disney princesses.
I'm sorry if anybody likes it. I'm just I find it very cringe and cheesy.
I'm completely on the opposite side of the page with you. I think that it's got people talking about EastEnders. It's got people excited. It's got people thinking, who's it going to be? Who's going to get bumped off on Christmas Day? Which one? Because I think this week EastEnders published their...
Is this an EastEnders podcast?
It definitely is. I think they published it's one of these six men who are going to get bumped off.
We got told off before about talking about EastEnders and spoiling things.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, it was me that did it.
I don't think any EastEnders fan's going to be surprised to know that someone's going to get bumped off on Christmas Day, considering they flash forwarded it back in February. Yeah. It's really
listen, Michael.
I'm hoping that Coronation Street has a similar upturn in just general.
All right. Goodness
things
me.
to make people excited about it.
On the front page of the soap mags at Christmas, no one's going to be thinking about this Six nonsense. It's going to be Ed Bailey sad in a Wendy house alone. Snow in
You're right. I need to have more faith in Coronation Street, don't I?
Going, whoa, I've lost all my money on a horse.
I can't talk about it for spoiler reasons, obviously, but I am looking forward to at least the Boxing Day episode of Coronation Street, because we've had a little bit of an idea about what's going to happen now, and I will say no more for the people that don't know anything about what's happening, but I'm absolutely looking forward to December the 26th in Weatherfield this year. Right, so this week... Me
too, because I'm going to have ham and pickled onions. My favourite Boxing Day treat.
Well, you hope, because we're at my dad's house this Christmas, aren't we?
I'm going to bring my own ham.
Just in case there's no spare ham at Christmas in my dad's house. I don't know what we're having for Christmas this year. I've got no idea. You bring what you want, darling.
Yeah, but if I bring ham, I'm only bringing my own ham. I'm not bringing ham for everybody.
I bring ham wherever I go.
Exactly,
and to prove it, here's my stupid puns for the week of this.
My personal ham.
Personal ham.
It's my personal supply of ham. If I don't have it on Boxing Day, I'll be sad. I get a nice slice of ham, and then I get a pickled onion, and I split the pickled onion into layers, and then I lay a layer of pickled onion on top of the ham and I eat it. And
Gemma's
it's the most
Christmas plates.
Delicious thing ever in the world.
You love a little Christmas tea, don't you?
What does that mean?
Well, just having a little plate of bits.
I like ham and pickled onions. I've realised there's no point in any of the rest of it because I just like that.
As long as I said to my dad this year that we'll come to see him for Christmas, as long as I get to watch my Corrie, as long as I get to watch Doctor Who, I'm not missing out on Millie Gibson's Doctor Who debut.
You might not
on
be
Christmas
in charge
Day.
of the remote control, Michael, because it's not just our family.
No, Dad, I know it's not. It's other people are going to be there as well. But my dad says there are numerous TVs around the house. I mean, I personally think that Doctor Who should be on the main TV, but I don't want people to be talking through it.
I'll bring a ham, you bring a telly, and we'll make our intentions clear from the beginning about what we want out of this trip.
Yeah, I want to watch Millie Gibson. I want to watch Coronation. I want to watch Ed and a Wendy house.
Yeah, it's important.
I don't care about anything else. Anyway, so we're going to be starting off with...
We're full of the Christmas spirit, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely.
Moaning and whinging. That's
what British Christmas.
British Christmas
This is Blanche, isn't
yeah.
it? You know, Blanche Hunt reborn in us.
It's why did you buy me this? And, why was that TV show?
Can I just check? We still haven't bought each other Christmas presents yet, have we, this year?
I bought yours ages ago.
Okay, so I still need to buy you a Christmas present. It's okay. I've still got 2 weeks.
Can you please buy me a ham? I just love that. I would love a ham. I'm not even joking. I love it so much. Ham
if you want. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Right, we're going to start.
Please don't cook it yourself.
We are going to start off with the Ryan and Cheating story, which came back this week. And actually, there were storyline progression here this week, wasn't there? The truth is out. Daniel knows, so we'll talk a bit about that later. Isla is the next. It's because Isla has turned out to be bi this week.
Isla's turned out to be Bila.
Yeah, although it did also seem to be a bit of a bye Isla as well, because she bogged off partway through the week and we haven't seen her there.
Should go off together. Leave me alone.
I really do think that. Yeah, I'm mixing up Isla and Crystal.
Yeah,
is there a third one?
You thought Crystal was Isla for ages.
I don't. I just have to think for a little while about
it's like
who it is.
Eva first came in, you didn't know who she was for months.
They're both kind of superfluous side characters that are clearly there just as plot devices.
I'm a nice young lady girl with long hair and pretty.
Like, honestly,
I don't have a personality.
I said on one of the shorts this week that it feels like the whole of the Nina and Asha story seems to have been written on the back of a post-it note, and it's just been fleshed out for what 3-4 weeks now.
I don't think it has been fleshed out. I think you mean stretched out.
Stretched out, not fleshed out at all. It's good.
We'll get to it.
Just split up the pair of you, for heaven's sake.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, exactly. She's got a nose stud today. And there's also
How
the dog.
old is she? Is she 6?
No, she's not 16. No. She was born on 50th anniversary of Corrie, wasn't she? So she is 13 today.
Unlucky for some.
Yeah, she's a proper teenager now.
That's why she's gone all moody.
Did they make a thing about that? I don't know if they did. There was also the dog storyline that's going up at rough treatment. Cassie's not the only one that can make terrible rough jokes when it comes to dogs.
Do you think the RSPCA is going to use that for their marketing?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know a dog that's been given some rough treatment? Why don't you chop them into us? We'll get them prosecuted.
Bernie has been sent down on Monday.
Matter.
I forgot, that seems like so long ago.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But the Bernie prison storyline, before I called it Bernie in jail, but then I realised this week that Bernie inmate is probably better for the Bernie Inn.
Bernie. By the way, Bernie Inn was a chain of restaurants.
Thank you for explaining my pun. We had the Papa Dom storyline is rearing its ugly head again, and
also it's a very dated reference. There's lots of people listening that live in this country that don't know what a Bernie Inn is.
I know, I get my puns, some of them are really just dredge them up.
I'm surprised you know what a Bernie Inn is. My mum loves it. She talks about it every now and then.
I know your mum loves Bernie Inns. We had the Lauren story as well, which is yet again just a little snifter of that mystery that I wish they'd just say.
Sniffy mystery.
Just tell us where Lauren's all our watches and bangles
This reminds me of
Shona. I know, it's exactly like the Shona mystery there. Stretch out this mystery. It's got to the point
now where I don't actually care, and when you tell me, I'm not going to be impressed.
I didn't care too much about. I really, really hope that it's something big. I've not given up on the idea that potentially Lauren's mystery man is a character that we know. Maybe there's a secret returnee character. Maybe Jim McDonald. Why not? Curly Watts, maybe he's coming back at last as Lauren's mysterious benefactor. I'm not sure. But if it just turns out to be random dodgy geezer, it's going to be like, well, we thought it was a sleazy man. Why have you waited until this long to tell us? I don't know.
No, there's no.
Anyway,
maybe it's Father Christmas. Maybe it's Father Christmas, and we'll find out on Christmas Day.
Maybe he's been giving her a present early.
Is that the special Boxing Day episode you're referring to?
That is not the special Boxing Day.
Ho, 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 Lauren, I've finished work now. We can be together.
Oh my gosh.
Well, of course he's busy now, isn't he? Leading up to Christmas.
He is.
That's probably why she's got all this spare time on her hands. And that's why he's got all these presents. He's found all these. The elves have been working all year, and he's like, I've got these extra. Got a watch, got a necklace. Here you go. You can have these.
Yeah,
it's prepared for the job.
I was going to give them to Stephen Reed. The watch was for Stephen. The necklace was going to be for Shelley, but I guess you can have them now, Lauren. Okay. Ryan and Cheaton. Now, would you like to do this story? Would you like to do the thrilling adventures of Nina and Asha?
What do you want to do?
I don't really mind. Do you want to do? You do the first one because you get to do the dog storyline there, and you are the dog lover of this podcast.
I want a dog.
Why is it a dog though?
Because cats are.
I want to see a cat being dragged around and given a good kicking on Coronation Street just to get my feline representation in the cobbles.
I want them to be like, "What's that, Mittens?" Meow!
Yeah.
You got kicked in the face by a horrible man. Do you really think a grumpy, beer-swilling chav of a man is going to be driving around with like a little cute cat in his van? It doesn't make sense.
I just think that Coronation Street needs to try harder to get more cats on Coronation Street. Considering that, there's always a cat in the intro sequence. We had Bobby. Yeah, Bobby. Minnie Caldwell's cat right from the start. There's just not enough cats.
Bobby's a budgie's name anyway.
On the Zoom call that Ian McLeod did with
you always boasted about this. I was on a Zoom call with Ian
McLeod about a month ago.
Did you show your face?
I did, yes.
Oh, he knows what you look like then.
Yes. He was saying, people like dogs, people like Evelyn. I can't remember exactly what he said. I just realised I can't remember.
People like dogs, people like Evelyn, and that's...
So let's do dogs and Evelyn for a Christmas storyline. Yeah, but I'm sure it will end up heartwarming.
Okay, we're not even doing that.
Right,
we're doing
Ryan and Cheating story. Go on.
Right, so on Monday,
this had the most exciting bit.
This is fun. Okay, everyone's enjoying themselves this episode. Everyone's all right. You all right? Everybody you got a drink or something?
Everybody knows. Everybody who's listening has watched Coronation Street this week, or at least the vast majority have. So I'm sure people would rather hear us just chatting about it rather than having it. Well, this is why
exactly. So what are we doing then? What's the waste of time we've been doing for the last 11 years? You're the one that decides what we do, and now you're just undermining the whole concept.
Why do we say what's happening in Coronation Street?
Yeah, we should forget it. It'd be so much faster if we just dispense with this, wouldn't it?
We're a synopsis podcast.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Well, make your mind up. On Monday, Ryan tells Carla about the job opportunity. Is this the one that he's going to get for the gym?
Yeah. Gym face.
I know, because she's got one. Crystal's got one in Glasgow. So Ryan says that, right. Carla says, speak to Crystal and see what she thinks. So she's worried because then she reveals to him that she wants to move to Glasgow, and she's thinking, well, no, she tells Daisy this first, doesn't she? She says, Daisy, what do you think I should say to him about it? Like, would it freak him out if I said, move to Glasgow with me? Yes, it would, you weirdo.
It's really cold up there.
You don't know him well enough to move to Glasgow with him.
I hope she gets some tips from Daniel. He knows all about Glasgow, doesn't he?
Edinburgh.
Oh, was it Edinburgh?
Stupid man.
I do apologise to our Scottish...
That's awful.
Our Scottish listeners.
How ignorant.
There are only 2 places in Scotland, as we know.
No.
And I got them mixed up.
I renounce.
3, Gretna Green.
I denounce. Renounce. Which one am I doing? Renounce or denounce?
Recede or rescind.
Daisy tells Crystal, follow your heart. And she says, great, I will do. So she tells him about Glasgow, and he's like, oh. And then she says, look, if I go to Glasgow, you can come with me and I'll get you a DJ residency at the local club. And he's like, I've always wanted to be a DJ. That's great. And he's like tempted. But honestly, I don't think he will move because at the moment, Carla's basically his mum.
I couldn't believe Carla in
running
today's
around
episode.
After him,
for heaven's sake, Carla.
Running down the school to complain about it.
It was, wasn't it?
What has happened to this woman?
I'm a bit disappointed that, what was his name? Carlos wasn't there when they went round to the gym.
Who is this? Your mum? No, it's my aunt. That's even worse. Your mum's not even bothered. You brought your aunt with you. Is she your real aunt? Well, we can't remember. We can never remember because I was swapped at both. All right, okay. I don't want to hear your life story.
Carla, he might have acid scars over his face, but he can still fight his own battles.
He can't though. He's a drip. He can't even clean up his own bedroom. She's in there tidying away his pants and going, oh, you've left out your needles. Anyway, so he's tempted by this. Daniel's trying to find out how Daisy feels about the fact that Ryan might move away, and she says no, I'm fine, but she doesn't want to talk about it with him, so they have to drop the conversation. Then Simon gets involved. He's such an unpleasant little oik, isn't he?
No, he's all right.
No, he's just nasty.
He's not. He's nasty this week.
Getting himself involved in other people's drama and then
He's
getting
just
mad
really
about
happy
it.
to be in a storyline for a change. Let him have one.
He's done nothing good recently, has he? He's been in it more.
He's done nothing recently.
No, he has. He got a pallet, then he got it nicked. Now he's involving himself in other people's stories again.
I am supportive of Simon being in a story.
I don't like him in the story at all. I think he's a nasty sneak. What do you think, listener? On Wednesday, Simon chats with Daniel in the street about how things are going with him and Daisy, about what happened with Ryan, and he says, I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to keep an eye on him. Crystal, because Ryan and Simon live in Carla's house so she can wash their pants.
Well, Simon's just there because, what did he say? He's had a falling out with his flatmates.
But I hope you're not paying rent.
I want to know these mysterious flatmates are. Like, Alex Payne must think, come on.
Well,
I know you.
Simon's like, I can't speak to them. I can't talk to them about anything. And Carla says, have you tried sort of working out if you've got any common areas of interest? Or like, no, literally, they're non-speaking extras. That they haven't even cast them.
They're faceless.
I go to an empty. There's
voiceless.
Not even. I don't have a set. They're not cast my flatmates. I just go out of this set and I wait until it's my turn to be back on the show again. It's miserable. Can I maybe?
Do you remember when Ryan was living at Chariot Square for a while last year, and then suddenly he had a flat with flatmates that he got fed up of living with, and now he moves in with Carla. So clearly,
do you think there's just like
Carla's flat is the place to go?
There's 3 people in like Manchester who are really horrible flatmates, and they just revolve around all the Coronation Street people that need somewhere to go.
Speaking of Carla's flat, I still, in my head, I don't, if I picture where it is, I'm thinking Victoria Street, but it's not, is it?
Where is it?
Exactly, it's above it's the streetcars flat.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's the one that Liz and
Stephen...
Stephen...
it was Victoria...
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's the same... Stop it. Because it's swanky, and it looks a bit posh and a bit herony.
I thought it was with Leanne and all that.
No, it's not. Whenever I see it in my head, because I link all the flats in Coronation Street to being around there.
Yeah.
And I
no, you've astounded me.
I blow your mind there.
Because they've got a weird vestibule thing going on, don't they? Because they've got their front door with the locks and everything and a peephole, but then they've got another area beyond that which has got their coats and pictures. And they keep the vacuum cleaner out there. So what's going on there then?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
But anyway, that's where they're living, just in case anyone had also forgotten.
Everyone's fascinated.
If you're like Daisy and you want to keep visiting Ryan, you need to know where it is.
I wouldn't be able to have an affair with anyone in that house because I would be in the wrong place. I'd be shacking up with Leanne. Going, look, I know that neither of us wants this, but I'm geographically challenged when it comes to...
Where's Adam living at the moment?
I don't know, Michael.
Has he split up with Sarah Louise? I think
yes, he has, because he came home steaming drunk the other day, didn't he? Well, I say the other day. Right, anyway, listen. Let me tell you what happened this week.
They need to do another like they did at the beginning of Corrie and just have a little pan of the street at the end of every episode to say where everyone's living.
I thought that you were going to say they need to do a catch-up for the Australians and go, we're not going to show you what happened in the last 6 months, we're just going to tell you.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Right, so Simon's living with Ryan, and he says, I'm going to keep an eye on him for you, Daniel, right? Crystal notices that Ryan has blanked Daisy when she came into the cafe. He says he didn't see her, but she's immediately suspicious because she thinks that he's putting it on. So she asks Daisy later in the street, is there something going on between you? Because I thought there was some tension. And Daisy says, no, probably just didn't see me. Meanwhile, Ryan is there going, sorry mate, Simon, could you get out of the lounge?
He's in the flat.
He's in the flat and he's saying, I want to record my video for this gym job. And Simon's saying, why don't you just go to Glasgow with Crystal? She's really gorgeous. And Ryan says, no, I want to do my video. Go away.
Maybe Simon's like fancies shacking up with Crystal himself.
Maybe. Ryan, if your bedroom's good enough for all your sex videos, why isn't it good enough for a job interview? Just do it in front of your wardrobe. It looks like classy panelling.
Well, no, I'd say do it in front of your gym equipment in your bedroom.
Yeah, don't tell me to bugger off. This is my dad's house.
Hello, this is my house.
This is your aunt's house.
This is my lovely Christmas tree in the background and a nice framed picture of a gold splat.
Yeah,
Here's a heron cushion for you.
Do you not think that Simon's got better rights to the house, to the flat than Ryan does?
No.
Because it's his dad's flat.
Yeah, but that is where Ryan is staying at the moment.
No.
It's where he's crashing for the last 6 months.
He tells him to get out. So, Ryan's recording this video when Daisy comes, because she's just had this conversation with Crystal and she's worried. She's like, why were you blanking me? And he says, I was trying to keep distance from you because I still have feelings. Do you remember when we slept with each other? Let's talk about all the things we've done that are wrong. And then she says, be careful around Crystal, I suspect something.
No, she suspects something.
What did I say?
You said I suspect something.
Yeah, I'm being Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy says that Crystal suspects something.
Oh, she doesn't suspect Crystal.
There's nothing to suspect Crystal of.
I know, that's what I thought. It's interesting for a minute there. I thought, what's she getting up to?
They talk about when they slept together
and
Daisy says it was wrong.
Yeah, it was wrong. I love
Still
Daniel.
love Daniel.
I love Daniel. I love Daniel for the record.
Mm.
Good. Well, it's a shame that no one's recording this. And then Simon comes home, which is rude because Ryan wouldn't have finished his video by now. So he would have interrupted it. Ryan and Daisy head out. Ryan doesn't realise he's left his phone recording this whole time. Simon sees it, comes running, and turns it off.
Can we just pause for a second and talk about the unlikelihood that these turn of events would have happened? I mean,
Michael,
Ryan's been filming himself pretty constantly for the past 3 months or so.
No, that's a silly thing to say.
If you're filming yourself and somebody comes to your flat, I would have thought it would be a completely natural thing to do, to reach over and pause it.
No.
I don't believe he would have forgotten.
I do. Michael, that's a silly thing to say. Everyone forgets stuff all the time.
We do occasionally stop recording, because we record this podcast on the Mac and my phone at the same time, and sometimes we carry on recording on the phone accidentally.
There's lots of things on there that
there's an awful lot of outtakes on the phone.
Oh dear, if you heard those, what we say sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's weird. Honestly, I don't think that's weird.
But
so you're saying that a thing you do every day or very often you would never get wrong, but sometimes you make me a cup of tea with no sugar in it. So explain that mystery.
I'm saying that if I was recording a podcast and my sexy mistress came to the door and we had a bit of a chat.
And what's her name?
I'm not giving anything away.
What's this woman's name? Carry on.
It's also Daisy, I have to admit.
She's
two-timing Ryan with me. If we had a conversation, and then I would would I then go and leave the flat with the microphone running? This is a thing as well. It's not just the fact that he said, "Whoops, I've recorded us talking." He literally left the flat. Did he forget what he was doing? I don't believe it. I think it was very contrived.
Yes.
It led to, it hasn't led to something too exciting yet.
This is not the most inconceivable thing that's ever happened on Coronation Street by an incredibly long shot. So let's forget it.
Of course not, but I think... I'm just saying he deserved to get caught.
He did,
In universe, he had this coming.
This is more believable than the fact that people regularly say, right, I'm going to the toilet, and get up and leave their phone on the table for everyone to read their messages and secrets, when everybody knows part of the reason you go to the toilet is so you can look at your phone.
Yeah, that is very
You look
true.
at your phone and you go, right, thank God I can look at Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, I don't need to act all antisocial while looking
no
at my phone.
No one's judging me because I'm looking
polite
at my
company.
emails. Right. So Ryan and Daisy are talking by the chippy later, and she says, look, of course I'd like you to stay, but you need to go with Crystal. It'll be good for you to get a fresh start. You're good with her. She's good for you. Let's just call it a day. And then
I would like to point out that it's a nicely directed scene. We are in a Matt Hilton week this week, aren't we? Always a bit special.
Did he do this today's as well?
Yeah, he did Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, great. Today's was good.
That was the scene where they were leaning against the bars by the chippy, and the camera just kind of pans.
Does it pan?
It was a very fancy pan.
Panning shot.
Yes.
Do you think he had the rails?
I think he might. I mean,
got the rails out.
We didn't see full on Matt Hilton.
No, there was no let's do this from the ceiling.
No,
I'm going to film them from the sewers.
Oh no, there was one in the bistro today which had some little close-ups on.
No, that was good. Yeah,
and Ryan and Daisy.
Very claustrophobic.
Yeah, there was a few. It didn't go, but I have been complaining a bit recently about the over-experimental editing in Coronation Streets. But Matt Hilton
zoom
always.
Through the reef.
I don't know what it is. It's his directing magic that he can do things that are a bit out there for Coronation Street, and I almost always love them. But he was a bit more restrained for this week.
This time we're doing it from the perspective of the Christmas tree.
Yeah, the angel on top of the Christmas tree.
Okay, right. So over at number one,
nicely.
We've got to keep knuckle down here, Michael. We've got to knuckle down now.
Why?
Because we've got to do a podcast.
Oh yeah. What?
Daniel puts his headphone. No, number one. Daniel gets his video on his phone, and he sees it's Ryan doing a.
Oh yes, because Simon has sent it to him.
Yeah, we pieced that together using our mega brains. I don't know why you watch this. If somebody sent me a video of somebody doing a job interview recording, I'd say, well, why'd they send me and then wouldn't bother watching it? Who cares? I must have missed out on so much drama.
It depends. I don't know whether there was a message that Simon sent along with the video, like watch to the end.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Watch to the end. There's a funny cat at the end of it.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, I've sent you the whole video. I haven't edited it down to the exciting bit. Who do you think I am? Max.
Who do you think I am? Matt Hilton. Right, so he watches the video in horror, puts his headphones in, and he listens, and he watches, and he gets to the bit where Ryan says they slept together, and he watches it over and over again.
That had a nice little bit of camera work as well, with a blurry Ken in the background and another close-up of
Ken's there going,
of old Danny boy. What they didn't do, thank goodness, is have the blurry sound effects and then the as Ken's like, Daniel, didn't you hear me? Thank you for restraining yourself.
I've made a cup of tea in your favourite mug. So, he's watching some more. Daisy says she loves Daniel.
Yeah, Daisy's in the video, like I said, saying she loves Daniel. We slept together. It was wrong.
It was amazing, though.
Some key
amazing.
moments. Ryan says
I thought that script was a bit.
It was clearly written as a.
You would not say. I don't think you would naturally go. Right, we slept together. It was amazing, but no, I
don't know whether he did actually say that. Whether that was.
Well, no, I just think what he did actually say. I remember thinking, I don't know if that sounds like he would really say that.
Yeah, it was written as evidence for the wronged boyfriends to discover, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Daniel storms around to the flat to try and murder Ryan, but only Simon's there, and he calms him down. Daniel pieces together what's happened, the fact that Ryan and Daisy probably were at the hotel the night that Daisy ran off. The crystal stuff must have just been the beginning. This has been happening for months. He's absolutely furious. He doesn't know what to do.
Who do you think would win in a fight between Ryan and Daniel? Because Daniel has got a bit buffer over the years. If you watched when Rob Mallard first came into the programme, he was definitely a bit ganglier.
Do you think we're going to have a Christmas Day fight? I love a Christmas Day fight.
I think we may.
Do you remember when we had Nick and Peter have a fight?
Yeah.
And one of them nearly got murdered on the railings.
Yeah, I do. No, I think that, but Ryan has been buffing it up recently, hasn't he?
Ryan's on steroids.
I don't think that...
weights, but Daniel's a slippery customer. And he's got that
edge. He's got brains.
He's got the edge of,
so I'd just punch him in the head if I was Ryan.
Wild abandon. Like, he pushed his dad down the stairs. He's capable of anything.
He'll
just push Ryan down the stairs.
We've seen...
That would make a 3 for them, wouldn't it? Because he's done it to Ken, he did it to Max, and now it will be Ryan.
Yeah.
Then he'll be able to complete the trilogy.
Push him down the stairs, and then he'll spill out onto the street outside the cab office, and the whole of the viewers will go, "What? I thought this was in Victoria."
Hang on a minute.
I think.
And then gets run over by a taxi.
We have seen Daniel. I be very unhinged and just crazy. Yeah. Like he punched the wall that time. Oh, was that Chesney?
I don't know.
No, Chesney hit himself with a brick. Daniel has definitely shown that he has got a very violent side.
Well, he's also
and I think he might catch Ryan by surprise.
He's a bit of a psychopath, isn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But I can also imagine him turning up to a fight with Ryan with a single white glove to slap him around the face. So who knows which Daniel would turn up.
No, he's a Barlow. He'd get him with his fists. He wouldn't want to let his dad down.
I think he'd pinch.
Ken never went round Mike Baldwin's factory and slapped him with a white glove, did he?
No, he should have done it. It would have been great. Do you just imagine, I reckon Daniel fights dirty.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Pinching. I bet he'd pull his hair. Yeah. Try and stick his finger in his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasty, vicious.
Well, he smacked Ken round the head with a poetry book, didn't he?
He's great. I love it so much. I want to see this now. Okay, well, we can do a chat GPT thing, can't we?
Yeah.
We can generate some for me, please. Yeah. So, You keep writing Ryan's watching the video, but you mean Daniel. Daniel's watching it in the bistro, and he realises. No, Ryan realises. Yeah, okay. Ryan realises when he reviews his video that he recorded the whole conversation, and at the end of it, Simon comes and turns it off. So he realises Simon may have seen this. So he rushes off to try to confront him.
Yeah.
Simon.
This is also what I didn't.
Shambles.
Sorry, I just didn't think it made sense that Ryan. Not only did he forget to press pause on the recording, not only did he go out with Daisy, leaving his recording phone in the flat and he didn't realise, but also he didn't think to come back to it for a decent amount of time later. How does Evelyn and Weatherfield manage to get by without their phones for all this time?
I think the pair of us are chronically attached to our phones.
The whole country, the whole world is chronically attached to their phones.
We have friends who don't reply to messages for sometimes days.
Yeah.
And I
nearly name dropped you then. You know who you are.
Who is it? Who are you thinking?
George Banks.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. See, this is what I mean. There's more people. There's loads of people that we know that do this. They'll be like, oh, I didn't even see a message. I wasn't in the room. And I think it's a mobile phone. It's a portable device.
I'm not the best at replying to messages, I have to say.
Well, I hate
But I do
too.
need to know. I do
but
always
listen,
know where my
I
phone
always
is.
have my phone on me because it measures my steps. And I have to get my Pikmin.
I think that when Ryan eventually
be my friend on Pikmin.
If Ryan ever did, when he does remember that he's lost his phone, it's great. He would come back and he would probably just check the video. It just didn't.
Well, listen, this is what happened. You have to deal with it.
True
lots of
for
things,
me.
lots of strange things have happened in the world. Aliens abduct people every day, and this is what you find weird. Wow, I think your priorities are wrong.
Sorry. Right,
so,
I won't interrupt you again.
Daniel heads home and finds Daisy reading to Bertie. And this is when I was triggered again. Remember how much I ranted about Chesney being a crap dad last week? I'm thinking to myself, this man is taking Daisy for granted here. I agree that she shouldn't have cheated on him. I think that's really awful. But when he came home and Daisy's there reading to Bertie, he's really mad. She can tell what he's in a mood, but he just says he's tired. I'm just thinking, in my cynical head, he comes home and he's like, I was going to dump her, but then I remembered that she washes my pants, looks after my child and cooks my dinner. And who would do that for me if not Daisy? Do you know what I mean? Like, why is she looking after your kid? Because
they're a happy family.
I know, but he doesn't appreciate her. Do you see what I mean? He totally takes it for granted that she's taking on, like, lots of people wouldn't want, like, to look after someone else's kid. He takes her for granted.
But Daisy loves Bertie.
No, I know. I'm not saying anyone's doing anything wrong here, except for Daniel taking her for granted. And perhaps the ulterior motive here is that he sees her as not just a girlfriend, but also a caregiver for his child. It's all very convenient for him, isn't it, Michael? That Daisy's the one that's
he just
doing all the childcare.
Well, no,
I think you take it for granted too that she should do it. She's not his mum.
I know. I just think
she's
that he
a good
loves
person.
her.
She's a good person for doing it.
He saw in the
why
video.
Are we taking it
she
for granted?
said that she still loved him.
But why is she being taken for granted for all the stuff she does for Bertie?
She's not.
I think he does. Anyway, Ryan comes home and he talks to Simon and says, "Did you see my phone earlier? Because you recorded your big head." Taking it down. And Simon says, oh yeah, I just stopped it recording. And Ryan's relieved because he doesn't seem to realise that if Simon had watched the video, he wouldn't have said anything. Oh, are you on strike now?
No. I just had no comment to make about that.
Daniel watches the video again later with his headphones in and he keeps listening to the bit about I love Daniel. Then he goes to the bistro and he watches Ryan leave. And we don't know what he's doing. He's
scoping him out. He's tracking his movements.
Daniel does this thing where he obsesses, doesn't he? He gets really broody. He thinks he's Heathcliff or something. So on Friday, Simon's...
What, a cartoon cat?
No, it's Garfield. On Friday, Simon's surprised Daniel hasn't kicked Daisy out because he's forgot it. He's like, why can't Carla come around and look after Bertie? Instead of if Daisy's not doing it.
Yeah, help her channel her obsessions into someone else for a change.
Oh, it's chucking it down. Sorry.
Insight
I'm
into
so
the
distracted.
Meteorological phenomena
Why is it raining
of
so
Southampton.
much? Okay.
It's raining.
Guess what? News flash. Simon's surprised Daniel hasn't kicked Daisy out. Daniel says, I'm forgetting it. Sometimes love doesn't make sense, Simon. You'll know that when you actually get a storyline about something.
If you ever get either A, a storyline, B, a girlfriend,
or
you'll
C,
understand.
Yeah, a story about a girlfriend. He says, I'm going to move on with my life. I'm happy with how it is. Meanwhile, Ryan's been offered the job. Hooray! He tells Carla, hooray! But I haven't accepted the job yet. I'm going to think about it because what this means for me and Crystal. And Carla says, you better hurry up. PR jobs at gyms don't come along every day. Daniel and Daisy are in the bistro. Ryan comes in. Everyone's all excited and hyped up about this. And Daniel's got his nose completely out of joint here because he knows that if Ryan gets this job, he's going to stay in Manchester, in the area, and Daisy and him will have more chances to get it on. And Daisy maybe looks happy for him, so Daniel gets
at the end of that scene, I said, is Daisy looking a bit pleased with us? And you said, I don't think so, but...
Well, that's what you think.
I think she was.
Daniel and Daisy are supposed to be having lunch together. Where's Bertie gone? Does he go to school? How old is he?
I'm gonna say no.
Right, so he's just look after yourself for an hour. We're going to the bistro.
He might be.
So they're having lunch together, and then Daniel goes, "Oh, my phone! I've just remembered. I'm a teacher. I've got to go to work."
Because he decided he just declares at the beginning. Decided to take the day off work today. I know I don't know what it's like for prison teachers, but. I don't know whether you can just take... But the thing is, they must have different types of holidays because I don't think they have half-term in prison,
No. Summer holidays.
6 weeks.
Yeah, I've gone to prison, but it's during the summer holidays, so I can do what I want. Yeah.
I just think Corrie had a very strange concept of time in this week's episode.
You were complaining all week.
I was complaining about all the things... No, I was complaining about it not being dark because... Yeah, people are bunking off school, but when other people, like in today's episode, when Sam was back from school, it was still light outside. Well, I tell you, when I'm kicking the kids out at the end of the day at the moment, it's getting a bit dingy out there. So,
yes,
check the sunset times, Coronation Street.
Currently, sunset is at 15:59.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting ready to go down. So, I didn't think that was consistent. Just putting it out. Yeah, that's it. Do you want to carry on?
Daniel says, I've got to go in to work, and he tells Simon on the way out, I need the keys to your flat. So he sneaks into the flat, goes to the bedrooms, and we don't see what he's up to. But then Daisy goes over to Ryan and congratulates him, and he says, look, just so you know, I didn't take the job because of you. And she says, what does Crystal think? And Ryan says, I haven't actually told her yet. And she says, you should probably tell her soon. You need honesty in a relationship, after all. Oh, haha, that sounds ironic coming from me, the big fat cheat. Later on, Daniel's at Ryan's new gym place, which I assume must be the headquarters of the gym chain, because it didn't look like a gym, did it? It just looked like a kitchen with a reception.
Oh, I haven't been inside a gym for at least 10 years, Gemma.
Normally
maybe that's what they look like these days.
A gym. So a gym is just a kitchen, but somebody slaps your hand if you try to eat anything. So he looks like he's going to dob Ryan into them because he's like, I want to speak to the manager of Ryan, please. Daniel comes home, finds Daisy's knocked off because he ran off in the middle of lunch. So he says, let's go to an art exhibition because there's free wine. So she goes, she agrees. And then he says, look, we need to stop taking each other for granted. See, I told you. He takes her for granted. Let's do more fun things like drink wine and look at art. You can do that at home, Daniel. You don't have to change into your bra then, do you? Ryan, while he's celebrating...
Yeah, Daisy was saying, what did she say? I'm in my comfies.
That's what you say to me sometimes. I'm going to shop. I'm like, nope. Took my bra off. It's not going back on today.
We had to go to the post office this week. And
I was already dressed.
For what? Bed?
No, I was dressed. I went. That's why I went to the post office with you.
Yeah, but the day before I wanted to go to the post office with you, your bra was off, so we couldn't go.
It doesn't go back on again the same day.
I don't know very much about these things, but it does putting a bra on.
They're disposable. And once you take them off, you have to throw them away. Get a new one.
I get it.
It's like contact lenses.
Daily or monthly?
Daily or monthly. Right, so then
Can you get like coloured ones, change your boob colour, like you get coloured contact lenses?
Ask Alia about coloured sports bras. Ryan gets an email from the gym while they're celebrating, and it says they've receded or rescinded his job offer. Carla's completely steaming drunk at the moment, can't seem to even read words, which is kind of what I'm having trouble with as well. So she decides, I'm not having that, and she's gonna go down the gym and
march down that gym and talk to the headmaster, the manager, about it.
That's right.
Honestly, how old is he now? He's 30, 31 or so, and his aunt is going to try and fight his corner with his
It wasn't so much
boss.
That Carla decided to do this, because Carla's just a bullshit anyway. But it's the fact that Ryan was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I know, he didn't really try and stop her, did he? We saw them turning up at the gym and he's trailing behind her like he doesn't really want her there, but come on.
What's the point of that too? Because they go there and they say you can't see Carlos, and then they leave. So why did they have that scene?
I don't really know. I wonder whether we'll see more of that set, because they made a set. They made a set for it. Normally if they weren't going to go back there, they probably wouldn't have bothered.
Yeah, but then again, they had the brewery conference room that we never saw again.
Yeah, but that just looked a bit like a room in the Coronation Street studios that they pimped out slightly. This looked like they had a bit, I don't know, it just felt like they had a bit more thought put into it. Maybe I'm wrong.
So, Daniel tells Simon that what has happened here is that he told the gym that Ryan was juicing
up, as they say on the streets.
Taking steroids.
Yes.
Honestly, that's confusing terminology, because somebody who was, trying to get buff would juice.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they?
They would have all kinds of, wheatgrass shots and things like that.
Yeah.
Simon's like, why would you do such a thing, Daniel? That's awful.
Well,
what the hell are you talking about? Simon, make your mind up.
With drug dealers.
Simon needs to make his mind up here, because one minute he's like, yeah, get him. Daniel grind his face into the dirt, and the next minute he's saying, no, you can't lose a man his job.
I think that he had a bit of a
that was weird,
strange personality.
Daniel says, look, I don't care. Ryan's better off in Scotland with Crystal anyway, so if this gets him there, good. Daisy spots Ryan, who's moping in Victoria Gardens. They've come back from their wine and art evening, which, is the heights of sophistication that Ryan could never even dream of conjuring up for her. But she's not even grateful, is she? She goes and sees if he's all right. And he says, I was going to have a job at a gym, but I can't now. They rescinded my offer. And Daniel says, maybe it's the universe's way of telling you to sod off and leave my girlfriend alone. Later on, Ryan meets up with Crystal in, not the bistro,
was it Speed Dial?
Speed Dial. And she was, it was Crystal, wasn't it?
I think
she's so dull. She was sitting there with her hands in her lap, waiting, like a Stepford wife that hasn't been turned on yet. You know what I mean? She was just staring blankly into space. She wasn't looking at the menu, she wasn't reading a book, she wasn't looking at her phone, she wasn't making a funny shape with a napkin. She was just sitting and waiting for Ryan.
Nothing else going on in her life until...
What a boring woman she is.
She really, really is dull.
So Ryan comes and says, that gym job, I didn't get it. Maybe we should go to Glasgow. She's like, yay! And for some reason, Daniel's come in after him, and he's listening, and he's going,
he's still clearly
Hooray!
Being a bit of a creepy
weirdo.
Stalker about it, which is ironic considering at the beginning of the year he was in a storyline about stalkers, and now the boot is on the other foot.
How do you like it?
I'm hoping that there's still more to come between this Ryan and Daniel, because
I want a confrontation. If I don't get one, then they're going to do a confrontation, aren't they?
Clearly Ryan is not going up to Glasgow, or if he is, he's not going to be there for much longer. But
for very long.
Yeah, for very long, sorry. Daniel is known for being, a little bit...
So whose side are you on, though? Whose side are you on?
Definitely Daniel.
Okay.
He's been wronged.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm only on Daniel's side in so much as I want chaos to reign. I also don't think Ryan and Daisy are any good together.
Ryan and Daisy?
No, I don't think they are.
I think that they could be. But
no.
The fact is, she's having a happy life with Daniel. She's... Poor old Bertie. Just imagine what he'd be like if she decides to go off with Ryan.
Exactly.
it's not this story is not painting her in a good light whatsoever, is it, Daisy? They've really done a number on her.
Yeah, it's weird.
Especially when she's giving like little lingering looks at Ryan and going, "Oh well, I'm kind of glad you're not going to Glasgow." She's such a
minx.
Yeah, not in a good way.
Oh. When you look like that, how can you help it?
Do you think that Ryan and Daisy are going to end up together after all this, or
no?
Do you not?
I hope not. I want Daniel and Daisy to stay together. I want there to be a couple on Coronation Street that have their ups and downs, but always stay together.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not Daniel and Daisy? He's a legacy character. He's Ken Barlow's son. She's like one of the most popular female characters on the show. She's one of the most popular other female characters' stepdaughter. She's got a place in the Rovers. They should be the new Jack and Vera or whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Do you think that if Ryan did go up north, do you think that Daisy would be able to forget about him, or would she just sit there pining with Daniel?
Ryan's going to go so far up north, he's gone back down south again because it's the south of Scotland.
Is she going to realise now? Do you think,
relatively speaking,
I never realised how happy I would be that you're not going to Glasgow, and is she going to maybe try and make a move on him again?
She's going to kiss him on Christmas Day or the day before Christmas or something. I don't know if there's a word for that. And then maybe Daniel will see it and they'll have a fight on Christmas Day. I want there to be a Christmas fight. I want there to be tinsel thrown and jingle bells flying through the air and reindeer horns going through people's skulls.
Maybe. I hope there's something. I'm kind of also interested in what's going on with the pub and Daisy's plans with Jenny to get that back open again, because that's been another side story that seems to be thrown by the wayside at the moment.
I liked her weak protest that she was going to job hunt if it wasn't for the fact that Daniel whisked her off for a lunch that never happened. Like, what's stopping you now then?
So did you on the whole enjoy this story this week? Was it okay?
Oh yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I think it's fun that Daniel found out.
I'm glad things have moved forward, but
watching him obsessively looking at that video was so creepy, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you would, though. I think it was quite realistic.
You would.
And Rob My Lads did a jolly good job of the look of horror on his face and obsession about it.
Daniel's such a good character too, because he's so inside his own head all the time. So he's gonna never let this go. When he told Simon, "I'm just gonna move on," you know that. Does he even believe that about himself?
I don't think he could.
I think he
would hold it to hold it over her. He might even let her know that he knew at some point, but say like, "I'm going to take you back." But then he would still, yeah.
I don't think he likes brooding.
He does. He is such a brooder.
He's like, "I look really handsome when I brood."
It's like when he's obsessively watching those Sinead videos, isn't it?
Yeah, he just loves to look at his phone and bite his fingernails.
Yeah, he's gonna get square eyes.
Tragic things he sees on there. He's got videos. He's got so many tragic women videos. Maybe he should join OnlyFans. There's probably loads of tragic women on there. Maybe there's a section for women who cry.
I'm still not completely and utterly hooked by this storyline. I'm more interested to find out what happens here than I am with, say, the Ed storyline or the Asha and Nina storyline.
No, I want to see. I'm actually obsessed with this Wendy house. I'm actually obsessed with it. If we don't get to see this Wendy house, I'm going to be so mad.
Okay, well, so we've only got 2 weeks to wait until the big day, until the Wendy house unveiling, so I'm sure we won't be disappointed there. Right, the Isla storyline, let's move on to that.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just thought you were getting up then, but you're just taking the hot blanket off your knees.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, in this story this week, Nina is being a bit needy.
Nina the needy.
And trying to get Asha jealous, and Asha does get. And then Asha finds out and thinks that Nina's being immature.
Why are you doing this again?
That's basically it. Literally.
Listen.
I love the characters of Nina and Asha, but this storyline's just not working, and it's because they're trying to make us feel sad about the end of the relationship without putting in any of the legwork, not a single bit of legwork in the previous, year and a half, 2 years nearly that they've been together to make us love the couple. At this point, I'm thinking, yeah, split them up, but I shouldn't be thinking that because I think that they could make a good couple.
It's only recently that I realised that they were dating because I forgot.
Yeah, you shouldn't. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't.
I mean, it's partly
a couple breaking up shouldn't be the reminder that
they were
they're
ever
going
out.
but it's something that happens to Corrie, not infrequently.
Yeah.
It's the same with Sarah and Adam. There's been a couple of times like, oh yeah, they're married because they're talking about the marriage breaking up.
Are you going to read this out?
Yeah, no, I will. I. It feels to me that Nina's character has. It's not assassination. She just isn't quite the same as she was. Yeah, she was always like the cool one. She was the one that,
Asha was the one that looked up to her. Nina was the older cool girl, and Asha was the kind of like the nerd, really.
She wasn't cool, but she revelled in her difference, and I don't care.
No, I think she was cool.
She was.
You're talking about cool as being like mainstream, and I'm talking about cool as in just being.
Yeah,
cool.
she was alternate cool.
Of course
but
she is.
she was always very confident in herself, and it's like, yeah, this is who I am.
Yeah,
deal with it. But now she's just become a bit of an insecure wreck. And it doesn't match up with, when after Seb died, I think Asha brought it up today that she got really obsessed with with Asha's whereabouts and.
She had PTSD, and then she went to counselling now.
She took her makeup off and everything, but
she wore a jumper.
I'm not seeing enough of the Nina that would. What does she do when?
Have we ever seen a storyline where a man goes through some trauma and then wears a different outfit?
I don't know.
Because it happens all the time on Coronation Street.
Yeah, that's somebody put. I can't remember if it was on Digital Spy Forum or or Reddit this week where people were saying about tropes on soaps, and one of them was a woman shows that she's going through a trauma by wearing an unflattering baggy tracksuit, and it's so true.
It's like, what's wrong, Adam? Why are you wearing a slanket to work?
No, I want to see something that gives Nina more of a oomph back. I don't know whether it's just...
Who would want to go out with her now? She's whinging, she's jealous, she's clingy. She doesn't seem to have her own social life outside of what Asha wants to do. She made up friends that don't exist.
And that's the most Coronation Street thing ever, isn't it? It's going to turn out that Simon's flatmates are also made up.
She's set up this stupid thing with Shona, which I thought was funny, but actually in reality is lame as hell. She's drinking a lot.
The problem is nobody on Coronation Street has got friends, and they've just used this storyline to highlight the fact that it's Nina that hasn't got one. But if you look at everybody's social circles with more than just a cursory glance, you'll realise that everybody on Coronation Street has got a friend circle of about 2 people, if that.
Also, last week she turned up to that social gathering with Asha and her colleagues and showed herself up there. Like, this is not Nina. This is not what Nina's like.
No,
Asha should dump her.
They've just made her look a bit pathetic.
Horrible,
and Molly Gallagher is brilliant, but she's not been given the material that makes Nina.
Nina should be perky, fun, sarcastic, dry, energetic, upbeat, positive.
She should always get the upper hand.
Yeah, not whining and moaning on and complaining about having a bandage.
Mooning after Asha. She should have kicked her to the curb. Like,
who?
Asha.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And I know that Asha hasn't made any moves on Isla, but she just has for weeks been completely oblivious to the fact that Nina has got a bit of a problem with her constantly talking about her. It's like if if Paris thought you ever thought I talked about Coronation Street a little bit too much and me not noticing at all.
Are you sleeping with her? Who is this Coronation Street?
Right, okay then. So Nina and Asha, after all their dramas in the previous week, start off on Monday saying, you know what, fresh start. Let's not go through any of this again. We're back, we're strong, we're going to be okay. But then Isla gets a text.
No.
Asha, what?
Isla texts Asha saying, let's meet up, and Asha's like, no,
that's what I was gonna say.
No, I won't. I'm going to be with Nina, see?
Oh, yeah.
And then Nina says, no, you should go. But then she looks mad.
Yeah. So
but then they do meet up.
Thank you. Asha and Isla do indeed meet up. Asha wants to go to the library because she's a massive square. Because, she wants to do revision, doesn't she? And Isla's like, no, you don't need books. Let's go and have fun.
Isla's went weird on Monday too, didn't she? She's like trying to jeopardise Asha's future career. Like, nah, don't study. Let's get drunk.
Well, maybe she just fancies Asha coming off the course so that it's not weird that she's dating her mentor, because that's her little fantasy about what she wants to happen. Anyway, Amy's there too. Amy's like bizarrely just spectating this crumbling relationship this week, isn't she?
Me this week that Amy had just turned into everyone's, like, the manifestation of their conscious, I'd believe you, because she was just there commenting on everyone else's storylines.
She was just kind of enjoying the drama of it this week.
Yeah, she's just laughing at everybody.
I think it's just this newfound spunk that she's that she has acquired since becoming Weatherfield's vigilante.
Okay, I thought that he got away with it.
No, I was talking about it in the metaphorical sense.
Okay.
Yeah, she seems like she's got this, I don't care about anything, I don't care what anyone thinks about me.
She's certainly a lot more upbeat than she was before.
She doesn't feel the same Amy as she was before. I still like her. I still like Emma Laney's portrayal of her, but she's got a bit different now. But has she given up trying to get all the evil spikers now?
Amy and Nina had different personalities this week, it felt.
Amy, particularly in tonight's episode,
Amy was like troubled PTSD, like Batman but poor. Yeah, like up until this week, and now she's just like laughing at Asha and Nina's relationship woes.
She used to be just a bit more dark on Wednesday-ish, didn't she? But I mean, we're going back 5 years or so. But I don't know. I don't mind. I still enjoyed her.
She seemed to just be enjoying herself.
Just felt a little bit different today. Anyway, so Isla and Asha go to the bistro for some lovely wine, and Isla says, "Look, my ex keeps texting me, wanting to get back with me. Why can't he let me get on with things? He's so needy." And Asha gives Isla a look like, "Oh, I need you."
I thought she gave her a look like, "Oh God, I know someone like that."
I don't know, maybe it was a mixture of both. And Isla also makes a bit of a throwaway comment about, "Oh, maybe, I should just take men off the menu for the time being and try giving women a try." And Asha's like, You
what are you
mean
saying?
That?
If this was a man doing this, it would be really cringe and a bit inappropriate.
Yeah.
If a mentor, a work mentor who's older than you, who's responsible for helping you learn, said, "Let's not go to the library, let's go get drunk and I'll tell you about my ex and also talk about how much I want to get in your pants."
Well, she starts talking about, there's someone else that I really like, and Asha's like thinking, "Are you talking about
You're
me?"
You're not subtle.
No, she really, really wasn't. So Amy sees Nina later on and accidentally drops Asha in it by mentioning how she's out on the lash with Isla, and Nina's like, "Hang on a minute, I thought they were supposed to be studying." So she strops into the bistro just as Asha's trying to get out of Isla how long she's fancies this other friend. So the conversation has to abruptly stop there.
Oh, I don't know how long I fancied them. How long have you been incidentally working with me?
It feels like this storyline's been going on for about 6 months. So I think maybe I fancied her for that long. I don't know. So Asha is on the phone to... they go back home to number 7 later, which seems to be just completely unoccupied, save for those two this week, doesn't it?
The rest of the Alahans
I don't know where the rest of the clan are.
Well, Bernie's in prison.
Clan. She is,
Bernie's in prison. But Dev and Nadia are like, "I don't want to be around Nina. She's such a drag. Let's just move out and not tell them. Just buy another house."
Yeah. So
I would literally rather buy another house than listen to Nina moaning again.
Nina's not really mad at Asha for bunking off studying, but she says, "Look, let's have a nice... Oh no, I can't have an evening together with you because I'm going out seeing a mate," but she won't says who, and she heads out. And Asha is on the phone to someone else later because she's decided that things are getting a little bit too close between her and Isla at the moment, and maybe she should have a different mentor.
That's the most sensible thing that anyone's done in this whole story.
But is she doing... It depends on whether she's doing it because she thinks I need to have less time with Isla, or is she doing it to say, well, it's weird me going out with a mentor, but if she wasn't my mentor anymore, then it's okay.
Either way, it's sensible.
I guess so. So Nina's on her own at the bistro later.
Nina doesn't actually meet up with anybody.
She doesn't have any friends, no.
So this college mates thing you were moaning about, college gang, you said last week was stupid because they all share the same phone.
Yeah.
Did she make them up? Has she literally got a burner phone, college gang?
I don't know
because
anymore.
It didn't make sense that they all had the same.
I guess she does have some college friends, but she's maybe
how much has she been like?
this
is quite confusing.
I don't know. But she has got one friend, and this is Shona. She's got her work friend, who decides to take it upon herself to add an. No, she renames herself in Nina's phone, doesn't she?
This was so bizarre. This is just Shona should bear no responsibility for this because she's got brain damage. Literally, she's brain damaged, and she's coming to Nina with this cock and bull idea about how to win Asha's heart.
I didn't think it was that bad of a plan.
Nina's like, this sounds great. By the way, what happened to you in a box at Christmas?
No, Shona just says, if Asha thinks that you're getting a bit of attention from me, aka Rob, then she'd be a bit more appreciative of you.
It's funny in a soap opera. I thought this was funny, but really, this is awful. Shona says, I'll pretend to be Rob and I'll send you messages and it will make Asha jealous. No, because why are you texting Rob? What plausible reason do you have to have a man on your phone that you're texting and hiding?
Yeah, but Nina's just making out that he's a friend. Anyway, on Wednesday's episode, Asha notices this with one of the first texts from Rob saying, "Do you want to meet up later?" with a double kiss on the end.
See, I don't trust a man that does kisses.
Just a friend, Nina says. Maybe that should be the giveaway, that is actually a girl that was doing
Exactly, and I hate this. Kisses on texts.
I don't mind it.
Oh, I don't.
As long as people don't expect me to put kisses back.
Yeah, this is what. No, this is what happens. I always think I'm being a bitch because I don't go kiss, kiss, kiss. But I have work.
Is it don't leave me hanging, smooch in the air?
I have work people that I always. If I don't put a kiss on the end, it looks like I'm pissed off. And sometimes I leave it off when I am mad by accident.
Yeah,
right.
No,
so it gives me such a dilemma. I wish we didn't do it. It's a very British middle-aged woman thing to do. I think. Do you not think?
Yeah,
I think it's a very weird British phenomena. I don't think other people do this in different countries.
I don't know. I think
it's like a mummy Facebook thing to do, isn't it? Kiss.
So Nina is still suffering from last night at work later, and Shona says how things are going. How's my Rob trick going? Did it work? And Nina's like, I'm not so sure. So Shona, rather than saying it was a bit of a silly idea, she's like, right, I'm going to up my game. And I did find it quite funny how Shona was really getting into character for Rob.
Yeah. What's wrong with Rob?
Yeah.
He's smart. He went to university. He's got a degree.
Yeah.
Can I just be clear about the kisses on text? It's only work things. I think it's weird for work purposes, don't you?
Yes.
Friends is fine.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Just don't be kissing me at work.
Don't do it.
No.
But
I don't normally.
Anyway, Shona gets offended on Rob's behalf when Nina says, I think this is a bit of a silly idea. I mean, Shona hasn't got much else excitement going on in her life at the moment. There's not much drama going on in the Platt family, so just let her have this.
She's battered all the baps. There's nothing else to do.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Isla has showed up at number 7, looking a bit anxious, saying, look, Asha, I've just heard that you want to switch paramedic crews. What's going on? And Asha says, look, I love working with you. I just want more experience, that's all. And I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. I thought you didn't want to spend time with me. And this is when she drops the bombshell that the person that she was referring to at the bistro the other day, when she said she fancied someone and she has done for a long time, is it's you, Asha. Just a little bit. And Asha's like, well, I had an inkling, but
you weren't satisfied.
Didn't want things to get complicated. Exactly. I was like, oh yeah, maybe not. It's fine. We can still be mates. So she heads off.
Isla's got Nina really bad judgment here.
What? Why?
Asha's more mature than Isla is, because Isla's literally telling her she fancies her, finding out that she got switched crews and not getting the hint that it's because of her inappropriate behaviour, and then saying, oh, you're right. I guess we don't if Asha hadn't said that, she wouldn't have backpedaled, would she?
No, you're right.
This is really inappropriate. Just because she's a cute young woman doesn't mean that she can't be inappropriate at work with somebody. She has power over Asha because she's her superior and she was her mentor.
Maybe this is how it's going to end. I wonder whether she will, because surely the story's got to get a little bit more interesting this, and maybe Isla's going to But we've already had a stalking story, haven't we? I was wondering whether she would get a little bit obsessed.
Stalking everybody.
I wonder whether she'd start to get a little bit obsessed with Asha and not leave her alone and, bombard her with messages. But it would feel a bit too close to the Justin story, so I don't know.
I think sometimes with stories like this, people hear criticism about what Isla's doing and say, how are you ever supposed to meet anyone or date anybody if you can't do this or do that, or at work it's inappropriate and stuff. There's definitely ways of doing it that is not what Isla's done here. Taking her out when she wanted to study, getting her drunk, telling her all this stuff about, veiled secrets about I fancy somebody.
It's not suitable.
There are ways to date people at work that don't involve being a creepy weirdo.
Anyway.
They can still be mates.
Nina speaks with Asha later because she's seen Isla leaving the house. She's like, what's going on with us recently? Why did you swap crews? And Asha says that at this point, Asha's bi. And she admits... Isla's bi, sorry. And she admits that she has had feelings for her. And
I can't believe that Asha's outing Isla as bi, because on Coronation Street the tradition is to never admit that you're bisexual.
Well, but Nina and Asha are kind of bi themselves, aren't they?
I don't think they're kind of bi. I think they are, but nobody will ever say they are. This is what annoys me about. And it's not just Coronation Street that does this.
Hashtag no labels, Gemma.
I know, but it's like, what is wrong with being and saying that you're bisexual? I don't get it.
Some characters have. I can't remember.
No, they haven't.
I think they have.
I don't think they have. I think we've had loads of discussions about this, because you can name many characters that are actually bisexual, none of whom have ever said.
That Paula did. Paula Martin.
Okay. We've spoken about it at the time, but it's notable to me that Isla never said that she was bi. Asha's saying about her.
Yeah, I think you're
right. Do you see what I'm saying here? I'm trying to defend bisexual people here because they don't get representation on this show, even though they do. They get a bunch of people who are bisexual, and I'm sorry to be cynical here, for the purposes of the plot.
Yeah. Because
they want them to date boys and girls and make it more complicated and more interesting and intriguing for the story, but they won't ever say they're bisexual.
Yeah, no, I know, but you're right, we have talked about this in the past. Anyway, so Nina meets up with Shona later in Wethy Gardens. Wethy, yeah.
Wethy Gardens?
Yeah.
What's Wethy Gardens?
Oh, it's Vicky Gardens, sorry, Vicky Gardens. Shona says...
I think you'll find it's not called Wethy Gardens.
Shona tells Nina, as long as you trust Asha, it's going to be fine. And Nina is clearly having a bit of trust issues herself. And she comes home and admits to Asha, look, I've been really, really insecure recently. Just want to go back to the way things were. And they tell each other they love each other and they kiss.
And I thought, good.
I thought that's the end of that.
Good,
then.
this was silly, but
nope.
Okay.
It just carries on going.
On Friday, they still can't get it together, can they?
No, because this Rob thing is still going on. And Shona Nina sees the message, doesn't she? No, what am I talking about? Asha sees the message, that's right. Nina's phone from Rob, aka Shona, and starts to look very suspicious of this. And she confronts her in the cafe later, and Nina says, oh yeah, it's Shona, sorry. I just wanted to make you a little bit jealous. Asha says, you're mega immature, drops off, showing her immaturity herself.
No! When Nina explained the plan to her, I was thinking, yeah, this is the stupidest plan ever. What did you think was going to happen?
I think you're right. If this was real life, it would be
It'd be just the most feeble-minded thing you've ever heard of.
It seems like for a soap plot, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you would do.
That's exactly what you would do.
Makes a few scenes of drama, doesn't it?
Yeah. So anyway,
this is when Asha talks to Amy, doesn't it?
Amy says...
Amy thinks it's hilarious.
Don't
be hard on her.
Don't be too hard on her. It was just a silly joke. And Asha goes back and talks it through with Nina and says, look, you have been pretty possessive recently. Reminds me a little bit of what you were like after Seb died and you were trying to find out where I was and everything. And Nina says, look, well, it's not just been that. I've also been making up, getting out with my mates all this time as well. And Asha's like, oh, I can't believe it. And drops off again. This too. They can't. Every time it looks like that their relationship is working its way back up again and is showing some semblance of stability, somebody says something that sets the other ones dropping off somewhere.
It's almost like
they're arrest
young.
you two.
It's almost like they're young and in one of their first mature relationships.
That's true. They are
They're
actually
young and silly,
young.
aren't they?
Yeah, but
that's okay.
It's not. They're not the most easy couple.
They shouldn't have to be the wisest people on the
empathise with
street
at the moment. Yeah.
I didn't know what to think about this when Asha and Nina start talking about her mental health. I thought, I don't know. Can we really blame being jealous on mental health issues?
If I was Nina,
I mean, I guess it is part of that, but you can't just use that all the time.
I think if I was Nina, I would probably be a bit jealous as well.
Yeah, I would be sick and tired of hearing about Isla all the time. She's not all that.
Yeah, but
if you came home from work and you're like, "Oh, there's a new teacher started today. Oh, she's so funny and cool, and she knows all these great stories, and she's teaching me all these new things about teaching I never knew before, and we're going to do some planning later." I'd be like, no. This is not happening. No.
So I'm on Nina's side to some extent, but I do think she's just being a tad wet. Mm-hmm. And like I said
wet
before,
blanket.
The fact that there has been no commitment to showing what a great couple this is and what a tragedy it'd be if they split up just makes me think I don't really care, unfortunately.
But I like both of them.
I like the idea of them being together.
I don't know.
I like, despite the fact that Coronation Street refuses to show that they are well suited for each other and head over heels in love with each other. I think that going forward, this could be a real decent. I'm not talking legendary couple or anything like that, but I think that they really could have the potential, but Corrie doesn't seem to want to invest in them. Do you think at the end of this they will have split up? Is this a long drawn out split up story, or is it just one of them? It feels like they're going to split up, but actually they end it and they're stronger than ever. What's your prediction?
Don't know.
I don't know who else they'd go out with. I think that they are too. I think they've got potential chemistry.
Could
and
they
I think
be a
because
future
of that,
Nick and Leanne, where they're on and off again all their lives.
I don't know.
Like twin flames. Did we all watch that documentary?
They could do. I thought we talked about that already. We've talked about that already.
It's
right, let's move on.
Why is everyone wearing a fluffy jacket? What's going on? Nobody told me about this. It was shearling jackets.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it. Why is everyone wearing the same jacket in different colours? They were like having a jacket shearling jacket convention at one point. Every single character had the same jacket in various different configurations.
Maybe they had them on offer in Primark when the Corrie costume department were going off hunting.
They're like, "Oh, I love all these. Just buy all of them, shall we?" Yes.
It's going to be winter when these episodes get filmed. We won't tell the lighting department when they're filming all the evening scenes in bright sunlight, but at least they'll be dressed for the cold.
It's always cold up north.
Anyway, talking of furry jackets, Gemma, fur coats. I mean, here's a dog story.
A dog wearing a furry jacket.
And also Hope.
On Monday, Cassie and Hope are Christmasing up the house, and Cassie wants to have a birthday party for Hope. And she's like, "Oh, what colour theme do you want?" And Hope's just being a bit of a cow about it, wasn't she? She wasn't really engaging in it.
This is we've seen not so much of Cassie recently.
One thing I will say,
I think she's trying
about Cassie this week is that she's almost every scene she had this manic smile on her face.
She really feels like she's trying too hard,
really
and I don't.
Trying.
And Claire Sweeney is a fantastic actress, so I think she must be doing it on purpose. But she's coming across as desperate and manic. She looks more unhinged than Ryan does at the moment, and he's got far more reason to be.
You mean Daniel?
Oh, sorry, Daniel, yeah. She's got far more reason to be than he is. But yeah, she's just so desperate for her family's approval still.
Yeah, just having your nan, like, rictus grinning at you, going, "What colour do you want your party to be?" with this unblinking stare. And you know that she's got substance abuse issues, and you don't know if she's actually on something or if she's just happy.
I think that the theme was double denim in Friday's episode, because both her and Cassie were there in their 90s jackets and nose rings as well. Bewitched. They were a bit, weren't they? Anyway, go on.
Tyrone says to Cassie, "Look, don't go too full on with these birthday plans. Just let Hope decide what she wants." But when she's trying to talk to Hope later about it, Hope says, "Look, I don't actually want you to come because you'll probably do something to ruin it." And then she runs upstairs like a cow. Later on,
I've never seen a cow run upstairs. I don't think they'd be able to manage the
steps.
steps.
No, Michael, actually I think you'll find they can go up, but they can't come back down. Later on in the evening, Tyrone tells Cassie, don't worry about it. Hope's just a moody
soon-to-be teenager.
A moody stare-wielding cow.
What?
On Wednesday, Cassie discovers that Hope's gone into school early because she didn't want to see her. Evelyn comes home and finds Cassie's putting up the tree, and Cassie's like reminiscing about...
This was a nice little scene.
This glass reindeer decoration from when she was young, and Evelyn says, yeah, I know about it. Oh, I got it right here. And she pulls it out of her bag, and they reminisce about all the happy Christmas memories they had and getting sentimental, and then...
Evelyn doesn't like to show her weakness. Well, and she obviously considers sentimentality a weakness. Yeah. I think that they could have squeezed a little bit more. This could have been
like it should have been a longer scene.
Yeah, and I can't believe this glass reindeer has survived the week without being smashed. I think it's probably safe now.
As soon as we saw it, we were like, "That's Hope's going to break that into pieces."
I thought it was a really lovely moment when Evelyn dug around in the bag and was like, "I've still got it." But
I still got it, baby.
I think that they could have squeezed a little bit more, and that would have been a proper character and mum and daughter bonding, building relationship kind of scene.
They did a bit of it.
They did a bit. It just felt like they could have pushed it a little bit more.
Evelyn gives her some advice about Hope. Says, "Look, she's just testing you out. You need to carry on as normal because things will work out." Then we get the sub story here, which is dog abuse.
I don't know whether it was a sub story. I mean, a sub story. It was definitely a sob story. That poor little dog.
But it wasn't to do with Hope's birthday.
It wasn't. It kind of was a separate story, but I'm bunging it all in together anyway.
So, Evelyn sees outside of Roy's a man dragging a dog about, and she tries to get Roy to film it, and the man gets in their face and starts complaining, having a go at him. I thought this was kind of funny because Evelyn did a really good job of what could be quite a hack story of like, old people can't work telephones. They don't know how technology works.
Well, it was Roy that didn't understand.
No, I know, but she was also being, one might say, Karen.
Mm.
And but really, of course, if you see someone abusing a dog,
would you do something? Would you have been the good dog Samaritan?
I don't know if I would have confronted a man who was drunk.
I don't think he was drunk then, but he was very angry looking.
I don't think I would. If somebody was rough and they would beat me up, I wouldn't. They wouldn't. If they do that to a dog, what would they do to me? If I'm by myself, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, well, Evelyn doesn't care about that.
If I was with you, I'd be like, my husband's going to beat you up.
I wasn't sure whether Roy would have been so easily convinced into filming this man.
Why not? I think he likes animals.
He does, but he
likes justice.
He didn't seem to want to be doing it, and
well, he did.
Is
anyway.
he just doing it because he wants to get inside Evelyn's
pants?
No,
that's nonsense. No. The man gets threatening. Roy's filming. Evelyn starts throwing mint imperials, which is a bad move. Someone's filming you. Don't commit crimes yourself. Cassie comes and has a go like, leave my mum alone, and then he yanks the dog away, and we hear it screaming. All of those squeals were performed by a dog actor.
Yes, don't worry. If you've seen the behind the scenes video on Coronation Street, the man was actually pulling behind a heavy sack. You haven't seen it, have you?
No, I don't like behind the
You don't
scenes
like behind it. Oh yeah, no, sometimes you do, but you don't often watch them. No, it was kind of interestingly done. They've been working with the RSPCA because I think that it was probably preemptive move to say, don't complain, don't write to Ofcom. We didn't actually have a dog dragging it around. Don't complain
or I'll hit the dog again.
So there was an interview on the ITV YouTube website where the woman says, we like to bring the dogs and we make sure that they have lots of rests and we make sure that they have a playtime and she's loving it here.
Okay, well I've got a question if you've seen the behind the scenes.
Well, I don't know.
Where did they get the dog squealing from then? Dogs don't know how to act. They must have done something to a dog to make it do that. It wasn't a man going, ow!
I think it was stock footage of squealing dog.
Back from the 50s when it was okay to beat your kids, your wife and your dog.
For sound
effect purposes only.
I should have used the Goofy holler. He's a dog, isn't he? No, way! I can't do it. I don't know how it goes.
I don't think either of us are very good at goofy voices.
No, I wasn't expecting to have to do that one today. Didn't prepare it.
Back at number...
What does that stare for?
I wasn't giving you a stare. Back at number 9, they're trying to get Tyrone to report the man online, and Hope overhears him talking about Cassie stepping in to save them. And so Evelyn uses this as an opportunity to try to get Hope to reconsider letting Cassie come to her birthday. And then Cassie tells Evelyn, Hope said she can come, but they're both still thinking about the dog. And Evelyn brings up, she's like, oh, you never met Cerberus, did you? And you pointed out that one of the times that she went off with Cerberus at Christmas was actually secretly to visit Cassie. So what the hell did she do with Cerberus?
Yeah, I think that possibly Cassie should have known who Cerberus was.
Cerberus shouldn't have been
from
like...
last Christmas.
Oh, I vaguely recall, like you might do about a distant uncle that you'd never met.
But it made me think twice. Like, did Evelyn leave Cerberus with Fizz and Tyrone last Christmas?
Why would they do that? Why would they would take the dog away because they always want to get rid of the dog because it's a pain in the bum to get them in to film them.
Yeah.
So anyway, she says, "Oh, it reminds me of how Cerberus was afraid of slippers because the previous owner used to beat him with slippers."
Nice little bit of backstory for Cerberus, wasn't
That's
expecting
not how
that.
you get a race dog to go faster, by hitting him with slippers. Is it?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's an inside secret.
On Friday, Hope is demanding to be allowed off school for the day because it's a birthday, and Tyrone says no. In fact, you've got to go in early because Ruby's got choir practice and I've got to go to Preston. And Cassie says, "Oh look, I'll take her in later." But it looks like she's got a plan because she's grinning like a lunatic. Evelyn, meanwhile, has not been able to sleep because she's been worrying about
this old poor old doggo.
I'm the same. I can't even look at missing posters for cats.
You don't like those adverts that they play, but it's like, oh, it's getting Christmas time.
I don't even like
Here's
the
a
videos.
shivering cat in a box. Give us £50 a week.
How sad this cat is, you bastard. I don't even like the videos where they're like, we found a stray dog on the streets and look how sad he is and now he's happy. I can't even watch those.
You certainly never watched the old Paula Grady show, did you?
No, I would never watch that. That just makes me...
Because sometimes they die.
No, I hate that, and I hate the vet shows, all of them. I hate anything where an animal dies, but I don't mind eating them, which is terrible.
But not
me,
dogs.
isn't it? No, I wouldn't eat a dog. Especially not one I knew personally. Anyway, Evelyn is upset. She wants to do more for this dog. Hope and Cassie are planning a secret surprise for Tyrone when he comes back from Preston. What?
Oh,
no, they're not.
No, they're not. I thought they were when I wrote this note, but they actually didn't.
They're actually planning a secret surprise bunking off
for
school.
themselves.
So they're walking down the street and then Amy sees...
This is also Amy being out of character,
This is what I said to you. I said Amy's the manifestation of everybody's internal monologue this week. She just appears from their brains going, you shouldn't go shopping on your day off. You should go do something cool like Ferris Bueller did.
See, Amy was a bit of a swot herself, wasn't she? I would have thought that she might have been a bit more, you should go to school, Hope.
You don't learn anything in December at school.
Yeah, well, I hope that Hope didn't have anything big for her school Christmas performance. I thought she's in secondary school, they don't really do those. They don't have nativity plays all the way through secondary school, do they? I think she's all right.
Terry turns up.
Who does?
Terry.
Oh, Terry, yeah, he's the man.
Terry's the evil dog man.
Yeah.
He's at the precinct. He's got a can of beer. He's got his dog. And Evelyn's there having to go at him again. And he fights back and she kind of feels a bit lost for words. Eliza and Sam are in speed dial later talking about what he's got Hope for her birthday.
Book token.
And so, and she's like, that's rubbish. And so Leanne comes and sticks her oar in and says, I'll help you pick some flowers.
It's nice that they're still reminding us that Sam and Hope are kind of an item.
More establishment of this relationship than others on the street.
They're not pushing it far enough. Not
what do you want to see?
With 12 and 13
I don't want
year
to see any of it.
They have nice
just
little
being
sweet
cute.
hold your hands
I
scenes.
don't know what real kids these age would get up to. They wouldn't be as sweet and innocent as I think Sam and Hope are being. Especially not Hope. She's a vapor. Do you remember? She was buying vapes the other day. She don't want a book token. She wants vapes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Evelyn goes into the charity shop where she works and she gets herself a disguise and she leaves all sneaky. And when Terry comes back to the van to get his dog, it's gone.
Not the van.
The dog's there going, I don't know what happened, sorry. No, she takes the dog to the cafe, looking very pleased with herself. And Roy says, I don't think you should have done this, really.
when Evelyn was dressed up with her sunglasses and her hat, which still had the label on, it reminded me of that bit. I don't know whether you remember when it was probably in her first 6 months or so of the programme when she went off to France and then she got arrested in France and she snuck back to number 9 and through the back door and she looked similarly suspicious and conspicuous. It reminded me of that. So yeah, she's got a dog that she's brought to the cafe.
I thought she looked like Inspector Gadget.
New little friend for Freddie.
Roy says, I don't think you should have taken this dog. And Evelyn says, it was a desperate situation. It called for desperate measures. I need to stay with you with this dog. And he says, no, this is stolen goods. Can't handle them. Meanwhile, Hope and Cassie get home. And Hope and Cassie have both had a great day because they've got nose studs. And Tyrone is, as you can imagine, absolutely furious. He grounds her for a whole month. Which is a bit harsh, isn't it?
She's not going to be
grounded for a month. What if she gets a bicycle for Christmas? She won't be able to go out with it. It's not fair, is it? Left alone with Cassie, Tyrone has a massive go at her. And so she's saying, look, what the hell do you... I can't even imagine. If I was Tyrone, I think I would be baffled at this decision-making process. What would make you think that getting a nose ring for a child would be a good idea? Why would you think I'd be okay with this? Like, the fact that you think that's okay makes me think, no, you can be trusted in no other situation I could ever put you in.
Yeah, I can't really understand Cassie's line of thought here beyond, I really, really want my granddaughter to like me, and if this is what she wants, then this is what I'll do.
And all the way through,
the fact that she didn't maybe have a little sneaky text to Tyrone beforehand to say, look, Hope wants to get her nose pierced. Is that okay? I won't do it if you say no.
I mean, it was funny. It was kind of old school Corrie, where the consequences really are kind of all very low, and it doesn't, nobody really cares. But like, and also the way Cassie was just beaming, just like angelically, even though Tyrone was like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, I just had a nose ring, I've got one too, doesn't matter. It was bizarre. I would be freaked out, honestly. This was really...
Tyrone had absolutely every right to have a go at his mum for that.
Because it doesn't even matter what you think about a nose ring. You don't do something like that to someone's kid.
Well, it doesn't even...
And she was going, I
think Cassie
grandma.
said, well, she wanted a tongue ring.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, what's next? Nipple rings?
Did we get to find out what Sam thought about it? I can't remember.
Sam's not going to even recognise her. Evelyn's calmed down a bit. Calmed everything down later. Because she comes in with a dog and Sam, and Evelyn, for some reason, Evelyn's like, chill out, it's just a nose stud.
Well, at first, she's quite...
She takes Evelyn's side, Cassie's side, which I thought was really weird.
Yeah, but at first, she's like, what on earth have you done to yourself? But it doesn't take long at all, literally one scene for her to say, whatever.
Whatever, I don't care. I've had a brandy now. They're supposed to be video calling Fizz, and Tyrone's freaking out, like, what's she going to say? Evelyn does tell Cassie she shouldn't have done it, but she doesn't really care. And Cassie's like, I just want Hope to like me. What a pathetic thing to say about a child that you're supposed to be looking after.
It's She so desperatally wants to see a family, but this to be close to a family, but this isn't the right way about it.
No. Matching nose studs. Tyrone decides to veto the video call and say that the internet doesn't work properly. And so they just do a phone call.
Well, now they don't all have EE routers in their homes. Yeah, the whole internet's going to pot.
They probably couldn't have done that storyline before when EE was sponsoring them. I bet there was a clause in there. You can't have any stories where the internet goes down.
They've been waiting for the last 3 years to have a story where the internet's gone down.
They'd have to write in some kind of elaborate, really protracted reason why the EE,
was this week the first week that we properly saw the Hayes Travel that's open now?
Yeah, but nobody's gone in it yet. But yeah, it was open.
Well, nobody's going to go in
it. The boards were off, I mean.
Yeah.
So Tyrone, saying he puts the phone down. Evelyn goes off to book club. She tries to leave the dog with them, and Tyrone's like, "No, we're not having this dog." And then everyone in the house starts going, "Oh, Dad, please, can we keep the dog?" Oh. And he says, 1 week only. I'm going to kick it out right on Christmas. And everyone says, "No, you're not. We all know this dog is yours now." There's going to be a scene where Terry comes to get his dog back. Tyrone's going to have to stand up to him. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Tyrone, you must really love this dog."
Well, it seems like Evelyn and this terrier are bonded to each other through the universal laws of, I don't know what. But I think that maybe somebody's going to be out walking the dog next
week. The dog's
week.
going to have to be named too. And do you think it's going to get a festive name?
Oh, Snowy.
Oh, Snowy. Oh my God.
See, it's right. It's like
it's going to be.
It is a bit of a Tintin dog, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoying there being a dog storyline, another dog storyline, dog lover, Gemma?
Don't put that reputation around.
What?
Yes, I like dogs. Great, more dogs.
I think this is a nice, seemingly low stakes story at the moment.
Evelyn did exactly what I think most of us wish that we could do in that situation.
Yeah.
Confront the man.
I probably would.
And then steal the dog.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I'd just
I would just think about it and
shake
be sad.
my head and tut.
And every so often, years later, I would think about it.
This is why Evelyn's a better person than us.
And feel ashamed of myself.
I'm wondering whether Freddie and Snowy are going to maybe get it on accidentally at some point.
I would hope that they're both snipped.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if this dog has, well, maybe Freddie is, but if Snowy has been badly treated and the owner's abusive, no, exactly. But
I thought it was weird that he even had a dog. I mean, I know it just didn't seem like the sort of man who could be bothered with a dog.
Maybe he's inherited it.
Maybe he got it off of his friend who died, his bat-watching friend who died.
Yeah, probably. That's a very common occurrence in Coronation Street.
More often than you think.
I was just wondering, yeah.
Fizz is going to turn up on Christmas Day and there's going to be a dog.
I don't think that Fizz... I'm really wondering
back.
because Jenny McAlpine's last 2 maternity leaves are relatively short and this one's going on an awful lot longer. Like, she's obviously having a good old time running that business in Norfolk at the moment. But when they talked about having a video call with her, I was thinking, oh, will we get a cameo? And alas, there was nothing. So we have to wait just that little bit longer for the next dose of Fizz.
You can get a cameo off William Roach. He's like 40 quid.
I know. Anyway, so that was fine. That was okay. Nice to see more Cassie after all this time because I do like her. I'm still growing to like her. She still does silly things, but I think she's pretty charming. Right, the Bernie story then. So, Bernie, I can't believe it was Monday that this happened. But yeah, she's having kittens because it's her sentencing today. And we were wondering, how long is she going to be sent down for? Is she going to be out in time for Paul's final days? And it looks like she will do. There's a few kind of sweet scenes with her and Dev where she's saying, oh, I'm letting my kids down. And she's like, no, Bernie, nowhere. You'll be out before you know it. Don't worry. They tell each other they love each other. Very lovely. There's also, we get a little bit more of the Joseph storyline as well, don't we? With Chesney come to visit Gemma at Billy's flat and they miss each other last night. They tell each other, oh, we've had a rotten night's sleep. But Gemma's just mostly worried about what her mum's going to have happen to her today. And
I don't know how Gemma's coping. I would just be...
her life is somewhat upside down at the moment, it's true.
Constantly just scared in a corner.
So they all go to court. Joel's there to put a bit of a downer on the situation. He's a bit useless, isn't
Joel's
he?
like, everyone calm down. I'm here. It's not going to be exciting.
But Bernie was... Oh, it's just tragic. She was just so apologetic to her kids because... And she's not wrong, but she's blaming herself for getting in this situation.
Like, I love Bernie. I think she's fantastic. But the judge was not wrong one bit here because... She's never even said sorry or this was a bad thing. I don't think she thinks she's done anything wrong.
Hasn't she? I can't remember.
I don't think Bernie thinks she's done anything wrong. I think she just thought, well, those are the rules. I broke the rules, but really, did I do anything wrong? No, not really.
I think if she thought that it would help her get a lesser sentence, she would say anything, whether she believed it or not.
That's what I mean. I think she thinks it's a stupid rule. Like, you should be able to do this. It's fine.
Well, the judge was saying...
She's not sorry that she did it. She's sorry that she's going to prison. That's the only thing.
I think that the judge wasn't completely right. She didn't have the right handle on it when she was saying you took advantage of a terminally ill woman.
Wrong. I think Shelley knew what she was doing.
Well, Shelley had been doing this scam for a while before, hadn't she? So she would have been carrying on selling these laptops, whether Bernie had got herself involved or not. But she ain't here anymore to ask.
I mean, when somebody is... if you've got somebody who's vulnerable and disabled in a situation where a crime's taking place, I can understand why you might err on the side of caution to protect them. And Shelley's not here.
No. But the judge also says, well, you've been in trouble before and you've
Exactly.
clearly not learned a lesson
Exactly.
here. So, 3 months, off you go. See
got
you
to
in 1.5
do at least
if
half.
you're good. Yeah. And she's taken away and she's blown kisses to the twins. It's so sad. So, how was this the kind of sentence that you were expecting?
I think I said this. I've said this last week.
I can't remember. Did you?
Yes, I said she's going to go to prison for a couple of months, probably. I said.
Yeah. So it's a nice little break for Bernie. What do you think the situation's going to be like Paul when she comes out?
I hope not too much different, but who knows how long he's got left.
His decline has come in rapid bursts, hasn't it? Like,
seems to happen all of a sudden.
every time there's a new filming block, he seems to have got a lot worse.
And then he maintains that until the next one.
Yeah, but
I don't know how. I don't know what.
So he was given possibly 6 to 12 months. When was that? About a month ago. So let's say that she does serve the full 3 months, which I would still say is very unlikely. He definitely could be on his last legs by the time she gets out. But I'm not expecting there to be a prison story, which means she probably will do, behave well. So I think that she'll be out
for a month and a half without us noticing. So I'm sure it's going to be fine.
I would think so.
We don't need to have letters from home and telegrams from prison.
But then,
us.
If she's going to be fine, was there much point in having the storyline?
So everyone can cry.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the reason you need. So anyway, off she goes.
I know we say this a lot, right? But if every time we said, I don't know what the point of this storyline was, they'd have like half of the show wouldn't exist. What's the point of any of it?
Okay.
At the end of the day,
I suppose it caused drama.
Were you not entertained?
And I was, and all of the actors involved in this did give some very true emotional performances. So I suppose it was worth it.
Don't get me wrong. I like Bernie as a cheeky criminal, but she really just doesn't seem to think that the law applies to her at all.
So. Back in the bistro later, Gemma and Paul is fuming that her mum's in prison and Garth has got off scot-free. So what's she going to go and do? She's going to make him pay. She's going to march down that market along with Carla and give him a piece of her mind. So she summons Big Garth to the kebab shop.
That's easy.
And demands that he goes to the police station and retract his statement.
That ain't going to happen, is it?
Well, no. And so she decides to get in the back of the van and start chucking the Christmassy contents out onto the street.
What a wally.
And a bit of a wally-ish thing to do. This was like I was saying last week about there's still somewhat of the chav in Gemma still. I said she's a slob and you're like, no, she's not.
She's not a slob.
But she's still a bit dumb sometimes. Yes, she was doing it. She thought that she had right reasons, but I think if she'd have thought for a while, she'd have realised this isn't going to solve anything.
Well, yeah, this was a bit weird.
Yeah,
she's chucking stuff everywhere.
It was kind of fun. Deb was there. Adding a little bit to comedy to those scenes. Then Chesney comes up and she's like, "Oh, this isn't fun anymore. I suppose I better stop."
I can't be bothered with this.
Chesney sticks around with Garth because they're still mates, aren't they? In a way. To pick up his stuff, or the stuff, that Gemma has thrown onto the street. Gemma is left to go back to the house with Joseph. By this time, I'd completely forgot that they're not supposed to have any contact with each other.
Garth is like, you pay me back, and Chosie's like, no, everyone's taking advantage of me, I'm fed up with it, I'm not letting people walk all over me.
Unfortunately for Gemma, just at the time that she's there with Joseph, in comes Caitlin, the child protection woman.
She's got a hand in the drug bin.
Yeah. And she's like, what's going on here?
You're specifically not supposed to give children drugs anymore. Do you remember we spoke about this? I don't understand this because the insinuation here was that it would have been fine if Chesney was there.
Yeah.
But then why can't Gemma just live in their house?
Maybe she could be up to no sorts, force feeding them drugs while Chesney's asleep at night. I know what you mean.
Weird that she's moved out when it wasn't like
they have their procedures.
It would have made sense if they were supervised only, but it wasn't. It was just as long as you're not alone.
You can hang about in your house if you want to.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I know that I still see lots of people getting really mad about this and how it does. Like this would never be done the way that it is shown on Corrie. Like they wouldn't discuss this in front of Joseph and so on and so on. Yeah.
Well, Chesney's able to smooth things over. He comes back and he smooths things over with Caitlin for a little bit.
By lying.
But when she goes, he has a massive rant at Gemma saying, look, I am tired of all this. I don't like having to lie to cover your back. I was kind of on Chesney's side at the moment. Gemma was acting like a petulant child with that van there. She should have known not to go back with Joseph. And I know Chesney kind of encouraged her to go back, but I was definitely on Team Chesney here. Gemma
Joseph was by himself, though. Huh? Joseph was in the house alone.
But he'd just come back from school, hadn't he? He was walking...
Was he in the street?
Yeah, he was in the street.
What's the point of taking him back home, then?
I don't know, maybe he's cold, isn't it? It's December. I think he only had a jumper on. So Gemma should have been thinking a little bit more straight. She's literally just in the previous episode or two before been told, don't have any time with the kids, don't get yourself in trouble, and there she is. It's classic, bizarre that classic Gemma that people don't like.
The bizarre bit really was the social worker was like, oh, okay, just don't do it again, or whatever she is, child protective service. Like, honestly, if I find you doing the thing I told you not to do, the first time I come out to check on you, and not only that, but you've got your hands on paracetamol when you're in trouble for drugging kids, you'd be out of there so fast you wouldn't even know where you were.
Yeah.
And you'd never see that.
I have minimal sympathy for Gemma with her actions this week. But anyway,
it's like she's trying to look suspicious.
She goes round Paul's and is like, oh no, me and Chesney, we're going to split up. He's a good dad. What if she never comes round again? He's going to be fine. They're going to make up.
I think they should split up.
Chesney comes round Billy's flat on Wednesday's episode and he and Gemma make up. She says, look, sorry about kicking off at Big Garth and everything. Can't wait to see the kids later. So they go around the cafe and Gemma's like, I wish I could see them more.
Is that Chesney tells Gemma Linda wants to come to visit in the new year.
Katie's mum.
Rich Linda.
When was it the beginning of last year that we saw her in the story with Joseph hiding up in Hope's attic? And I think we did like her a bit more in her last appearance than we did in her original stint. I can't say that I am eagerly awaiting with bated breath the return of Linda.
Linda's great because she gets painted as this kind of like la-di-da, richy, posho villain for just coming in and saying, I could fix all your problems with money. Why won't you let me? And Gemma and Chesney going, no, no, no.
Maybe this will be the end of the poverty storyline for Gemma and Chesney, that she's going to throw money at them. But
Gemma's fuming about this. She doesn't want Linda to come because she doesn't want to show herself up in front of Linda. She feels vulnerable and like her mum's in prison. She's being investigated by social services and Linda turns up. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Just to make me look even worse.
I would have thought that Chesney probably should have consulted with Gemma before agreeing with
He's
with
kind
her.
of in a bit of a bad spot here though because he doesn't know how long this investigation is going to take. He's alone with the kids. He doesn't even know which way's up with half of them.
Doesn't know which one's which.
No,
they're all identical.
He's been blagging for this whole time. And it's just lucky that Alan's deaf and he doesn't know he's been calling him the wrong name the whole time.
Anyway, so that is to come in the new year, possibly a return of Linda to Coronation Street. Hurrah.
I would be so... If I was Linda, I'd be so sick of this, wouldn't you? Every time you go around there, something else has happened.
Do you want to talk about the Stu storyline? Pushing on through with this?
Pushing on through, Miss Stu.
This is all just the same, wasn't it?
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to tell me that there's conflict between these two men about Eliza?
There is.
No. So on Wednesday, Stu's still going on about Dom and how much he hates her. And he doesn't even know that Eliza's supposed to be in the Weather High concert. He finds out from Cassie. And he's mad about it. Eliza goes round to their house after school. And Stu says, well, why can't I go to the concert? And she says, well, you don't get on with my dad. And he says, no, I promise. Well, so what, we can have a fight on Christmas concert fight?
It could well be a Dom versus Stu fight. And I think probably Stu will end up making himself look stupid.
Yeah.
Won't he? Dom's going to be acting... He's going to be acting like a bad dad, but Stu's going to overreact. He'll probably stand up in front of everyone. And I think he will
vomit on everybody. Dom comes to pick Eliza up later and Stu says, come to Christmas Day with us. And he says, no, I'm not. I've got my own plans. Me and Eliza are gonna have Christmas Day with my parents.
Who Eliza is. Yeah, we didn't meet them, but Eliza was off to meet them in today's episode.
Do you think there's someone famous? Do you think it's like Judi Dench?
I think
somebody
not.
Cool. On Thursday, no, this is Friday.
Yeah.
Stu's annoyed because...
Sorry, I've written Thursday here. I've got no idea why.
The cooking oil delivery's been delayed.
Oh no. Drama at speed dial.
Yasmin's like, just calm down. I know you don't care about this. You're just worried about Eliza and the fact you can't spend Christmas with her. And he says, why don't we open speed dial on Christmas Day and have an alternative Christmas there and everyone can come and everyone else to go?
Maybe it can be Christmas for the homeless and he can meet up with his old mates from back on the streets.
I'm sure there'll be some sad people in speed dial on Christmas Day looking sad.
So, hang on a minute. We've got half an hour Coronation Street on Christmas Day.
There's too many things
We've got Ed Bailey possibly sitting in a Wendy house.
Yeah.
We've got...
a bunch of people that have been rejected from their families eating curry in speed dial.
Yeah, and
we've got
possibly some kind of
Daniel and Ryan having a fight.
Yeah.
We've got Gemma crying because she can't spend time with her kids, and also Paul's dying.
I wonder whether they'll forego the usual Christmas music montage because it's only a half an hour Coronation Street on Christmas Day. It's like, no time for that. Let's get straight to the action.
Wrong.
What?
Instead, it'll only be a montage.
Oh, it could be.
And it will be sung by Barbara Knox.
Maybe they filmed an hour's worth and they just squash it all down to half an hour.
No, it'll be a half-hour song performed by Barbara Knox where she's narrating the action that we're watching.
Okay, maybe. If they haven't done that, there's still time to
do it for next year.
Do it. I'd say do it this year. Just put a few extra hours in, it'll be fine.
Exactly, just do some work for once.
The drama in today's episode revolves around Eliza waiting for her dad to turn up, and then he doesn't turn up, and then he does, and he's drunk.
But he's drunk, and it never gets mentioned.
Stu's just not impressed with him at the end of the episode.
Plastered, and he turns up. Is he supposed to be having a meal at speed dial?
I don't remember.
Because I was waiting for the scene where Stu's like, "You're not going anywhere with Eliza." I wouldn't let him go. I wouldn't let this drunk man turn up and take my granddaughter. How did you get here? You're drunk. You're not going anywhere with her. I thought that was just weird. And I want to say the guy who played Dom did a fantastic drunk acting. It wasn't comedic. It wasn't over the top. It was really subtle. But he did a really great job of it.
Oh, well, I'm sure I'd appreciate your congratulations.
Congratulations.
So anyway, that was just that. Stu's mad at Dom, who'd have thought? And also, Lauren this week has got a necklace in the post, just following last week's watch. We saw there's literally nothing other than what we mentioned earlier. That's all it is. Max has spotted a necklace and she's like, oh yeah, my new fella's got it for me. And Sabrina and Max are wondering later on why they've not met Lauren's new guy, and David suggests that perhaps he's a munter. And that's the reason why we have not met Lauren's guy. And I thought, maybe finally this week we'll meet him. But no, we have to wait for a little bit longer. And that's it for this week's Coronation Street. It seems like, a little bit more plate spinning. The Ryan and Daisy story definitely moved forward. The introduction of the dog story to Evelyn's household was a lot of fun. Bernie getting sent down had to happen. But it was all right. I can't say much more. It was all right week on Coronation Street. I'm going to give it 3 kisses on the end of Rob's messages.
Damn it! I was exactly going to say that.
Out of 5, and that means that he really fancies you and wants to maybe get into your pants.
I'm going to give it 3 lame book tokens. Who's the character of the week? Interesting. Ryan, Daisy.
No, I mean
Daniel.
It's probably going to be Evelyn for saving that poor defenceless little doggy wog.
Oh, doggy.
Possibly, because I don't think that. I mean, maybe Daniel, but then he didn't really do an entertaining enough revenge for me. I'm still waiting for him to take it out on Ryan.
Evelyn did wear a funny costume.
Yeah, but also Bernie was good, but we didn't see her after Monday.
She did a stunt because she threw mint Imperials.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Evelyn just to add to her already high character count. So Evelyn character of the weekend. What did I say? 3.5. Can't remember. 3. Whatever I said, 3. That's what I vote for. 3 kisses at the end of Rob's messages. I did, didn't I?
You can't do half a kiss, so it's 3.
Absolutely.